Hey everybody, this is Tiffany. I wanted to take a moment to make a quick video for Healthy Passions YouTube. I took a couple of notes, so I may be looking down a little bit, but just to make sure I stay on subject because I tend to ramble if I don't. I wanted to talk about what we can do to eliminate some of the stress of these times. A lot of people don't know what's going to happen next. They feel like they are, well, I wouldn't say they feel like, they're made to believe that we're constantly in a stress state, that we're constantly in a pandemic, and things have to stay stressful right now, and everything is going crazy in the world, and this and this and this. And that is partially true. In a way, I can see how people would feel that way. In my opinion, it is not a bad thing what's happening. In my opinion, I think it's a total world reset, as far as anything spiritual, anything as far as collective consciousness and nature. I feel like the earth, Mother Nature, is resetting itself, and it's actually a good thing. I think over time, after a couple of months have went by, people will see that this is actually a good thing. My first point is ways to eliminate some of your stress. The first one I wanted to say is stay grounded. To me, this has become very beneficial, very important. There are different ways to get grounded. You can go online. There's plenty of people that talk about this topic on how to get grounded. Some of my favorite ways are going to be getting into nature. For me, that is like the number one thing. Like I love to go to the lake by myself and sit, meditate, walk, take deep breaths, monitor my breathing, make sure that I am relaxing and just enjoying nature, listening to the birds sing, watching water flow and touching the water, things like that. Those are things that naturally keep us grounded. They recharge us and they keep us in a peaceful mindset. Another thing that you can do, I know this sounds so taboo, and I actually tried this recently. I hadn't did it for a long time, then I tried it again, and I think it works great, honestly, and I kind of incorporated it into my lifestyle. So I know a lot of times when people see me and how I dress and things like that, they sometimes joke and say, "Hey, Tiffany, you're a tree hugger." Technically, yes, I am. When I was training at the YMCA, I would tell people to hug trees. That was a part of, just becoming one with yourself and relaxing. It was homework that I would give outside of my training sessions with them as a personal trainer. And hugging trees, yes, I am definitely a tree hugger. The reason for that, it's many reasons. Trees have been said to, over time in folklore, it's been said to carry the spirits of our ancestors. I'm not sure if that's true. However, what I do know scientifically, for me, I wouldn't even say scientifically, for me, spiritually, when I hug a tree and I feel the life force of that tree, it actually recharges my body. I truly believe that. And then, especially like a fruit tree or something like that, we exchange. Okay, so when we breathe, we take in the oxygen and then we exhale carbon dioxide. Well, the tree, of course, is the opposite. So that's an exchange. That's an energy exchange between a human being and a plant. And that's the way the earth is designed. So there is an even exchange there. There is the thought of the roots being so deep into the earth, so deep, bringing forth just positive energy, I would say, for people who are not as spiritual. Positive energy, I would say, just from the planet. There's water involved. What does water do? Water cleanses. So it's very beneficial to hug a tree. I suggest you try it sometimes. It's okay to be a tree hugger. Nobody's gonna well, I wouldn't say people ain't gonna think you crazy, because they're probably gonna think you're crazy, but really you're just grounding. And it's been practiced for thousands of years, and it's a wonderful practice. Also, Another one that's very common, a lot of people do this naturally and don't even realize what they're doing. Think about when we were kids. When we were kids, we would just want to go outside, play in the sun and the rain, and just really just go have fun with our friends, right? What was the first thing that most kids do? They take off their shoes outside. I remember I used to do it all the time. My mom used to yell at me, put your shoes on, but I would still take my shoes off. I wouldn't take my shoes off to run on concrete. I would take it off to run into the grass or into the dirt or something like that. So the next thing that you can do to ground yourself is to stand on the earth. It's the same concept as the tree in the earth. Although we don't have roots that go down, there's an electric field that actually goes down deep into the earth and then comes back up, because everything is energy exchange. So you're kind of rooting yourself into the earth and then sucking up some of that positive energy and life force that the earth provides. Mother Nature is very important, especially for melanated people, especially for anyone that inhabits the planet, really. It's just a great thing for us to learn to do. Instead of being skeptical, I would suggest that you try it for about 2 weeks and see if it works, or see if you notice any changes. Take a journal, start a spiritual journal, and see if you notice anything. Write down any subtle changes, anything that you notice, anything that you feel is beneficial. This didn't work for me, whatever the case may be, just kind of write it down. So that's really good. It's also good to write. Another thing that you can do during these times is, in my opinion, very important as well. Probably more important than grounding right now, is protect your energy. Now, the way that you do that, there's many different ways to do this as well. There's a lot of superstition in this. So I would allow you to choose the way that you would do your research and decide what you want to do. For me, personally, I like to use crystals. Certain crystals have certain properties. I have my favorite crystals that I use for blocking negative energy, for enhancing my psychic ability, balancing my chakras, things like that. Protecting myself from in travel and things like that. So I basically, when you go to a crystal store, they tell you to kind of go to the crystal that resonates with you. Which one are you attracted to? Why do you feel like you're attracted to it? Look at the properties of that, research it. If it calls to you, hold it in your hand. For me, what I like to do, I'm going to use an example of one of my shells here. It's for my Virgo baby. Let's say this was a stone. What I like to do when I go shopping for these, I would hold the stone in my hand, and I literally feel a vibration in the middle of my palm. If that vibration is really strong and I have been drawn to that, and I think it's really pretty, and I've been drawn to it, and I feel a strong vibration in my hand, then that's the stone that I choose. So in my opinion, most of the stones I don't choose. A lot of times the stone chooses me. So and then, I do research on the stones that I want, and I see if that resonates with me as well. But that's the best way for me to kind of see if that stone, because what you don't understand is there's an energy center in the middle of your hand here. And so you feel vibrations there. And just be really still and just kind of get a feel for it and see if you feel a tingling. I call it a tingling sensation. That's what I get. Mine tend to be very strong if that stone resonates with me. And that's the way that I personally choose stones, but there's many different ways. You can go online and kind of get to know common stones that people use, know the properties and things like that, but be very careful with how you handle them. So there's ways to cleanse them, there's ways to charge them, and that's what you would kind of need to know with whatever stone you get. And a lot of times each stone may need a different way of cleansing or charging. Some stones don't like sunshine, some stones do, things like that. So just kind of get to know your crystals, learn how to cleanse them, things like that. A lot of times people will use sage, moonlight, sometimes sun if the stone calls for it, or sea salt, things like that, to kind of cleanse their crystals. Because when people touch things, they leave an energetic fingerprint on things, and you don't want a negative person touching the stone that you bought and not cleanse that stone when you bring it home. You want to make sure you cleanse it and kind of carry it around with you. Let that stone get used to your energy for a few days. Keep it in your pocket, keep it in your purse, things like that. And then properly use the stone for whatever it's been used for. The next part of protecting your energy would be prayer, fasting, and meditation. Now, each one of these are great in its own, but they are also very powerful together, depending on what you're needing. Christ used to say, like, there's certain demons that you can't get rid of just in prayer. So there's certain demons that have, or demonic or negative energies, whatever you want to call it, that have such a strength or stronghold on a person that you will need to incorporate fasting with that prayer in order to get rid of that stronghold or that addiction or whatever it is that it may be. So I know everybody has different backgrounds and religions, but one thing we have in common is that we're all human, and we know that there's sometimes negative energy somewhere. So, and that is something that to me is universal. Prayer is universal. Meditation and fasting is universal. So I would suggest that you incorporate that, and now would be a great time because there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of negative energy being passed around. Probably unintentionally, but in my opinion, intentionally. But that's one of the best ways to protect your energy as well. Also, I would say to limit the amount of negative news that you allow yourself to watch. Yes, it is important to stay informed on what's going on in the world right now. You can stay informed without obsessing over the news, because the media, I'm telling you, oh my gosh, they will have you thinking you're gonna die and the world gonna burn up tomorrow. Like that's how terrible they are with the hysteria they cause. So for me, I haven't watched the news probably in the last 2.5 months. I'm trying to make it 3. Like, I don't watch the news. Believe me, with as much as everyone's talking and moving around, you will know if you need to know something. If there's a new law or if there's something that's happened or whatever, you're going to find out. Because people are going to tell you. People tell me all the time. I have strangers walking to me telling me the news. These are the people that are obsessed with it, that have just anxiety out the wazoo. Because they just watch the news entirely too much. They wake up in the morning and the first thing they have is that negative news on, and they look at it at lunch, they look at it throughout the day, and they look at it before they go to bed. Too much. Okay, so in my opinion, just limit the amount of news that you have. Just look for the facts. Just look for what we need to know, and that's it. Anything other than that, that's it. Limit it all. And another thing, like I said, strangers, everybody will tell you. So you protect your energy by saying, look, I do not want to know about that. I really have to, as an empath, a very strong empath, I really have to let people know, please don't tell me about murders and things like that. I don't want to hear it. It is not that I don't care. It's the opposite. I care too much. That would ruin my day. It'll set my whole body system off, and I would just be distraught. Like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. If it's meant for me to know, I will know. Okay? So, you protect your energy. You control what you listen to, what you hear, what type of music you're listening to, things like that. You can control that. And you don't want to listen to too much negativity. Another thing that you can do during these times to kind of stay grounded is to raise your vibrations. I know that sounds very cliche because everybody says that. Raise your vibrations, raise your vibrations. I've heard that for many years, but people don't really tell you how unless you kind of like really look it up, which you should for yourself. You should look it up. You don't take what anybody tells you. Everything that I say, look it up. But I was really curious because I heard it all the time. I was wondering, well, how do I do that? Sorry about that. That's my new neighbor, I guess. How do you do that? How do you raise your vibrations? You telling me to do something, but I don't know what to do. You get proactive and you learn different ways, and you see how, things that make you happy, things like that. But for me, I would suggest that you sing. Even if you're not a good singer, It's not about the talent, it's about the act. So people, you tend to feel really happy when they sing. Think about it when you're in the shower and you're singing your shower song. Think about that. How happy are you in the shower with your soap? Just singing, you know what I'm saying? You're really freaking happy, right? That is one way to raise your vibrations. You don't have to do it just in the shower. You can do it in your home alone, because I know some people are very shy, but it's still something you can do, even if you're not shy. Shoot, I do it walking in the grocery store. I don't care where I'm at. If I want to sing, my heart sings, my spirit sings. That's what I do. But I same with the dancing. I'm gonna dance if I want to dance. I don't care where I'm at. I could be at the gas station, and if I want to dance, I'm gonna do it. But dancing is really uplifting, and it not only does it lift your vibrations, it's really good for exercise, in my opinion. It keeps your heart rate going. It keeps you flowing with life. And for women, it's very, very important for us to move the midsection of our bodies, just for all around general health, but basically reproductive health and things like that. And it helps with our cramps. It helps with our menstrual cycles. So dancing is a really good thing to do and incorporate. Even if you do it at home by yourself, if you're just terribly shy, do the dancing. Like, the dancing is really good, especially for women. It's good for all, but it's good for women as well. Laughter. Whoop, whoop. That's another thing you can do. I love to laugh. I think everything is funny, and we should all laugh. Think about how good you feel when you have that heartfelt laugh that you feel in your gut, like, it's just really funny to you. You can't breathe. You're with great friends and you're just having a good time. Think about how good you feel. Laughing releases those endorphins in your mind and for feel good. And if you have a frowning face all the time, you'll start to get wrinkles. And how do you reverse that? Smile, laugh. So it's just really simple things that you can do, but laughter is very important. We have to remember to laugh. Another thing that I tell my friends and my kids all the time, I love it that the kids over here play in front of my door, because to hear a child's laughter actually makes me smile. So it raises my vibrations to hear them outside playing and having fun. And I don't want to yell at them and be like, oh, stop playing around my door. No, I want them to play, baby, play. Because, it makes me happy. Because usually I'm in here like either cooking or cleaning up or working on something. It does not interrupt me. It actually makes me smile. So that raises my vibrations by listening to them play. Not only should you listen to them play at times, even as an adult, you should go play. Me, I'm great at adulting. I adult all the time. However, I play as hard as I work. I like to play. I like to go outside. I'll play basketball, soccer. I'll go do the hikes. I'll go to the parks. I'll skate. I still play. I like to have fun. And I like to do it with my kids. And it's just a great way to keep my vibrations high. I think that's a big part of the reason why a lot of times people think I look young. I'm a lot older than most people think that I am, but I attribute that to having a playful spirit. I'm just youthful in my spirit. Period. I will always play. To the day I die, I will play forever. If I'm 85 years old, I'm still playing, okay? Another way that you can raise your vibration is eat more fruits, vegetables, and basically a plant-based diet. Certain foods have certain vibrations, and we know that the electric foods definitely give us that energy, and it does raise our vibrations, and it will also help with your prayer and fasting and meditation as well. When you eat clean, you get a clearer channel. You get clarity. Things move faster. You'll be happier. You'll be in a pleasant mood. You'll be more at peace. Those are things that I've noticed with eating clean that are wonderful. Another thing that you can do is work out. Yeah. Especially since this quarantine time, We have to get that workout in. There is no excuses for it. I was guilty of it the first 2 months of the quarantine. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want nothing. I think I was borderline getting depressed, but I was watching the news and I was just like, oh God, I was so devastated. I didn't want to do anything. I think I was getting depressed. But I'm not a person that gets depressed easily. But I got challenged by a really good friend to do a workout. And the first month of it, I failed. I'm not going to lie. I failed. I waited till the last minute because I was busy doing other things. But I waited till the last week of that month challenge and I exercised. And just in that week, I felt so good. And I was like, you know what? I have to get back to exercising. So what I did was I challenged that same friend to another month. Because I was upset that I lost, for one. You know, I'm competitive. Just because you're spiritual don't mean you're not competitive. You want to win. So I challenged him to another month, and this time I did it wholeheartedly, and that month went very well. I was very impressed with my results. My body looks good. It feels good, and I continued after the challenge of another month. And that is a great way to stay healthy. It's a great way to stay in shape. It's a great way to keep your system clear and going and popping, and it raises your vibration. So it's very important to continue to work out. A lot of times I work out right outside my door. I like to work outside in nature. I will go to a park. I will go anywhere. As long as you got a body, you got a gym. That's me as a trainer speaking right there. If you got a body, you got a gym. So you can find ways to work out. If you don't know at all, hire a trainer like me. Hi. That's what I do, personal training. Or if you don't have the money and you're not working and you don't have a personal trainer, there are plenty of YouTube videos that can teach you how to do certain workouts from home with no equipment or things like that. So really, there's literally no excuse to not working out. None whatsoever. Another way to raise your vibration is, sounds really cliche as well, but do what makes you happy. If you're a painter, paint. If you're a writer, write. If you like to make jewelry, make jewelry. If you like to make clothes, do that. Whatever you like to do that is a talent, is something that you just enjoy, do more of that. Schedule it into your time. If you don't have time, make time. Put it on your calendar as, for 2 hours, I'm going to do this thing on Tuesday, and do it. So that's another way to raise your vibrations. And this video is getting kind of long because I'm getting more talkative, a little more confident in my videos. But the next thing I would say is sun gaze. Be very careful with that. Do your research. Do it correctly. Start with a few seconds at a time. Sun gazing is very important. I think you should incorporate that if you so choose. But do your research. Make sure you do it correctly, because it can be dangerous if you don't do it correctly. If you don't want to sun gaze, that's fine too. But at least spend time in the sun. That's why I work out outside, or I find an excuse to do whatever I'm doing outside. At least spend 2 hours in the sun. A lot of people say, well, sun keeps your melanin popping and all that stuff. But what people don't know, that it takes at least 2 hours for that to activate. So you need to spend at least 2 hours, or if not more, in the sun in order to get those benefits from the sun. So garden, do whatever outside. Work out. Work out would be great. Work out, take a nice little walk. And there's ways that you can incorporate all of the things that I've said and be outside doing it. So, I mean, just kind of work it out for yourself and see what works best for your schedule. But I'm pretty sure you have time. You'll find that time. I'm very busy. So if I can find time, anybody can find time. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this up. I want you guys to not be stressed. I don't care how horrible the news is today, tomorrow, whatever the case may be. Your job is to keep yourself calm and your family calm. Stay calm so y'all can stay focused and do the necessary steps to make sure that you guys are surviving through this time in a healthy, peaceful way. Cling to the Most High, or whatever it is that you decide. If you want to call it the universe, I don't care. Go to your higher power when you are praying, meditating, and fasting, and make sure that you stay close and grounded in that. It is very important. So, like I said, I started rambling towards the end of my video, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But Healthy Passions will be doing a lot more videos, longer videos, as you can tell, as I get more used to the equipment. I'm not that great at technology, but I'm learning because what? I have time during this quarantine and all of this other stuff going on. I have time to learn new things. That's another thing that can raise your vibration. Study, learn something new. Sharpen your skills, learn new skills, be who you want to be because you have time now. Either way it goes, I want to just say blessings to everyone. I want to send love and light to everyone and their family. And I just love you guys to pieces. And y'all have a great day. Mwah.